A small request before starting the video. If you love the channel's topic, then subscribe to the channel now and press the bell icon next to it. Because one of your subscriptions encourages me to make better videos. What Audra did on YNR no one expected. Should Claire trust her? On The Young and the Restless, January 9th, Audra agrees to make amends with Claire. She offers her arch-nemesis an olive branch. Audra did something that no one saw coming, and Claire is unsure what to make of it. Audra boldly flirts with Holden. At Crimson Lights, Audra, Zuleyka Silver, continued flirting with Holden, Nathan Owens, which suggests she's bothered by his relationship with Claire, Hayley Erin. She wanted to know if they had an understanding. Holden was aware that Audra could flirt with the best, but he wanted to know why she was trying to soften him up. Audra laughed and told Holden that she felt like flirting with him. She knows his moves, having seen him in action before. Holden is also aware of her moves. She wanted nothing to do with him when he first showed up in Genoa City. Audra could tell there was still chemistry between them. Meanwhile, Claire walked in and saw them flirting. She immediately asked Holden if they were still on for dinner. She casually said hi to Audra, who wished her a happy new year. Audra even remarked that Claire looked well. So, what's going on here? Audra went from flirting with Holden to being nice to Claire. Does she have an ulterior motive? Holden could end up as the new leading man of Genoa City with these two ladies fighting over him. Should Claire accept Audra's peace offering? Claire wanted to know what was going on. Audra assured Claire that nothing was happening. She wanted to apologize to Claire for everything she's done. She no longer wants to get into petty fights. Audra's apology shocked Claire. Audra explained that they have to learn how to coexist in this small town. Additionally, she wished Claire and Holden a good night and hoped they would enjoy their dinner. Claire has every right to be suspicious of Audra. She's not the type to apologize and admit her faults. Maybe her friendship with Sally, Courtney Hope, is rubbing off on her. As always, Audra moves like a snake. There could be an ulterior motive. Maybe Audra's being nice so that Holden can come around to her and leave Claire. Or, so he can't tell Claire the truth about what happened in LA. Either way, win-win. What Audra did on The Young and the Restless no one expected. Should Claire trust her? No one in Genoa City saw this coming, and that's exactly why Audra Charles's latest move has sent shockwaves through The Young and the Restless fandom. Just when viewers thought they had Audra pegged as a calculating climber who always plays for her own advantage, she did something so unexpected it instantly flipped the power dynamics around Claire Grace, and now everyone is asking the same burning question: should Claire trust her, or is this just another carefully staged illusion? Audra has never been the type to act without a hidden agenda. From the moment she arrived in Genoa City, she made it clear she was sharp, ambitious, and unafraid to manipulate situations to get what she wanted. She aligned herself with powerful players, inserted herself into complicated relationships, and showed time and again that she could weaponize secrets better than almost anyone else in town. So when Audra suddenly stepped into Claire's orbit in a way that looked less predatory and more protective, it immediately raised red flags, and curiosity. What makes Audra's move so shocking is that it didn't benefit her in the obvious ways viewers have come to expect. Instead of advancing her corporate ambitions or securing leverage over a Newman or an Abbott, Audra appeared to put herself at risk by involving herself in Claire's increasingly volatile situation. Claire has been walking a dangerous emotional tightrope, torn between loyalty, fear, and a desperate desire to belong. Everyone around her seems to want something from her, especially Victor Newman, whose influence looms over every major decision in Genoa City. Audra, of all people, choosing to intervene on Claire's behalf feels almost unreal. Sources close to the situation suggest Audra quietly blocked a move that could have seriously damaged Claire's standing, both personally and professionally. Rather than letting damaging information surface at a critical moment, Audra allegedly redirected the narrative, keeping Claire from being blindsided. This wasn't a loud, attention-grabbing rescue. It was subtle, calculated, and done in the shadows, classic Audra tactics, but with a twist. Instead of using the secret later for blackmail or leverage, she seemingly buried it. That choice alone has fans questioning everything they thought they knew about Audra Charles. Is this the beginning of a redemption arc, or is she simply playing a much longer, more dangerous game? To understand why this matters so much, you have to look at Claire's fragile position. Claire is still struggling with the psychological aftermath of everything she's endured. Her sense of identity has been shaken, and her trust in others is paper-thin. She wants stability, honesty, and safety, but Genoa City is not a place that offers those things freely. Every alliance comes with strings attached, and every act of kindness is usually followed by a demand. That's why Audra's involvement is so unsettling. On the surface, Audra appears to be offering Claire exactly what she needs: discretion, strategic guidance, and protection from predators far more powerful than either of them. But Audra's history makes it impossible to accept this at face value. She has burned allies before. She has switched sides when it suited her. And she has never been known for selfless acts. One theory gaining traction is that Audra sees something of herself in Claire. Both women entered Genoa City underestimated and overpowered, forced to navigate ruthless players with limited resources. Audra may recognize that Claire is being set up as a pawn in a much larger game, and stepping in now could be her way of rewriting her own past, or at least proving to herself that she's not destined to be the villain everyone expects. Another possibility is far darker. Audra may believe Claire is the key to toppling someone even bigger. By earning Claire's trust now, Audra could be positioning herself to gain access to information or influence that would otherwise be out of reach. Claire's proximity to the Newmans makes her incredibly valuable, and Audra is nothing if not strategic. Helping Claire today could mean controlling a crucial piece of the board tomorrow. What complicates matters further is how Audra handled the aftermath. She didn't boast. She didn't hint. She didn't even make sure Claire fully understood what had been done on her behalf. That restraint feels intentional. It keeps Claire off balance, unsure whether she owes Audra gratitude, loyalty, or suspicion. And in Genoa City, confusion is often more powerful than fear. Claire, for her part, seems torn. She senses that Audra did something significant, something protective, but she can't shake the feeling that the truth is only half visible. Every instinct tells her to be cautious, yet she's running out of allies she can rely on. When someone like Audra offers a lifeline, even a dangerous one, it's tempting to grab on. Victor Newman's shadow looms large over all of this. If he becomes aware that Audra interfered with a plan involving Claire, the consequences could be severe. Audra knowingly putting herself on Victor's radar would be an enormous risk, which again raises the question, why would she do it unless the payoff was worth it? Either Audra believes she's finally strong enough to challenge Victor's influence, or she's miscalculated in a way that could destroy her. There's also the emotional factor. Audra is often portrayed as cold and controlled, but cracks have been forming in that facade. Recent scenes hint at exhaustion, frustration, and even regret. Helping Claire may not be about power at all, it may be about conscience. In a town where almost everyone has crossed ethical lines, Audra choosing to draw one of her own would be a seismic shift. Still, The Young and the Restless has taught viewers to be wary of sudden transformations. Genoa City thrives on reversals, betrayals, and shocking reveals. Today's ally is tomorrow's enemy, and the most dangerous moves are the ones that look like kindness. So should Claire trust Audra? The answer is as complicated as both women. Trusting Audra could give Claire the protection she desperately needs in a moment of vulnerability. It could also place her squarely in the middle of Audra's next power play. Refusing to trust Audra might keep Claire safer in the short term, but it could leave her isolated and exposed to far worse threats. What's undeniable is that Audra's unexpected action has changed the game. Lines have shifted. Assumptions have been shattered. And for the first time, Audra Charles is being talked about not just as a schemer, but as a wild card, someone capable of disrupting Genoa City's most entrenched power structures. As this storyline unfolds, one thing is certain: the truth behind Audra's motives will eventually come out, and when it does, it will either cement her as an unlikely hero or confirm her as one of the most dangerous players Genoa City has ever seen. Until then, Claire's next move could determine not only her own future, but Audra's as well, and the fallout is guaranteed to be explosive. The tension only escalates from here, because Audra's unexpected move doesn't exist in a vacuum. The ripple effects are already spreading across Genoa City, and the closer people look, the clearer it becomes that this was not a small gesture, it was a deliberate disruption of an already volatile power structure. Whispers begin almost immediately. Someone noticed a meeting that didn't happen. A document that should have surfaced never did. A confrontation that was clearly being set up suddenly vanished into thin air. These are the kinds of absences that raise alarms in Genoa City, and seasoned players know they don't happen by accident. When the trail quietly leads back to Audra, eyebrows go up. This is not how she usually operates. Audra is known for precision strikes that leave visible damage. This time, the damage was prevented, not inflicted. Claire feels it before she fully understands it. There's a subtle shift in how people treat her. Conversations stop when she enters a room, but not with the usual predatory curiosity. Instead, there's hesitation. Caution. As if someone important has decided Claire is temporarily off limits. That realization is both comforting and terrifying. Comforting because it gives her breathing room. Terrifying because it means someone powerful is now involved in her fate. Audra never confirms anything outright. When Claire tentatively tries to thank her, Audra deflects with cool indifference, almost annoyed by the suggestion that she did anything altruistic. That reaction feels calculated. By refusing credit, Audra keeps herself insulated. She also keeps Claire unsure. And uncertainty is where Audra has always thrived. But cracks form in Audra's armor when she's alone. In quieter moments, her expression betrays conflict. She replays the decision in her mind, weighing consequences she knew would come the second she intervened. Audra is not naive. She understands exactly how dangerous it is to interfere with forces like Victor Newman, especially when Claire is involved. Yet she did it anyway. That fact alone suggests something deeper than strategy is at play. Meanwhile, Victor begins to sense interference. He doesn't have proof, but he never needs it. A plan that should have unfolded cleanly stalled at a critical juncture, and Victor hates inefficiency almost as much as betrayal. His instincts tell him someone stepped out of line. Someone underestimated how closely he watches the board. When Audra's name enters his orbit, even as a distant possibility, the danger level spikes. Victor doesn't confront Audra immediately. That would be too obvious. Instead, he tests her. Opportunities appear that look generous but come with hidden traps. Questions are asked that seem casual but are designed to expose loyalty. Audra feels the pressure instantly. She realizes she's being evaluated, possibly targeted. And for the first time in a long while, Audra is the one reacting instead of controlling. Claire, unaware of the full scope of the threat circling Audra, begins to rely on her more. Small conversations turn into strategic check-ins. Advice turns into reassurance. For Claire, this feels like survival. For Audra, it's a line she knows she shouldn't cross, but keeps crossing anyway. Each interaction deepens their connection and raises the stakes. What makes this storyline so explosive is that both women are operating from fear, but different kinds. Claire fears being used, discarded, or destroyed by people who see her as expendable. Audra fears becoming exactly what everyone already believes she is, and realizing too late that she could have chosen another path. Protecting Claire may be Audra's way of proving she's not irredeemable, even if no one ever applauds her for it. Still, the danger is real. Audra's past is littered with burned bridges, and there are people who would gladly expose her the moment it becomes convenient. If anyone discovers the full extent of what she did to shield Claire, Audra could lose everything she's built. Worse, Claire could become collateral damage in a much bigger war. The looming question remains unanswered: what happens when Claire finally learns the full truth? Because secrets have a way of surfacing in Genoa City, especially the ones meant to stay buried. If Claire discovers that Audra manipulated events without her consent, even to protect her, will she see it as salvation or betrayal? Trust, once broken, is almost impossible to rebuild, and Claire is already emotionally raw. At the same time, Audra's actions are forcing others to reassess her. People who once dismissed her as purely self-serving are beginning to wonder if she's evolving. That curiosity alone makes her more dangerous. An unpredictable Audra is far more threatening than a transparent one. As the days unfold, alliances will be tested, motives will be exposed, and one carefully hidden truth threatens to detonate everything. Audra's unexpected move has set off a chain reaction that cannot be undone. Whether it ends in redemption or ruin depends on one fragile thing: whether Claire chooses to trust her heart or her instincts. The situation reaches a boiling point when an unexpected confrontation forces Audra to make a choice she can no longer avoid. A quiet warning reaches her through back channels, the kind only insiders hear, suggesting that Victor's patience is wearing thin. Someone has noticed the pattern. Someone is asking the wrong questions. Audra realizes the window to stay invisible is closing fast. At the same time, Claire's emotional state grows more fragile. The temporary calm Audra created begins to crack as Claire senses the protection around her tightening instead of fading. That realization triggers anxiety rather than relief. Protection in Genoa City always comes at a price, and Claire is terrified of discovering what hers might be. She begins to question whether Audra saved her or simply delayed something far worse. The shift becomes undeniable when another player makes a move against Claire and is abruptly shut down. This time, the intervention is visible. Too visible. Word spreads that Audra directly intervened, putting her own credibility on the line to stop an action that would have publicly humiliated Claire. There is no plausible deniability now. Audra has chosen a side, whether she admits it or not. The fallout is immediate. Some see Audra as reckless, accusing her of letting emotion cloud her judgment. Others see opportunity, believing Audra's loyalty to Claire can be exploited. And then there are those who feel threatened, because Audra's behavior no longer fits the narrative they relied on to control her. A woman who breaks her own rules is unpredictable, and unpredictability destabilizes everything. Victor's response is chilling in its restraint. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't issue ultimatums. He simply adjusts the board. Audra finds doors closing that were once open. Meetings are delayed. Promises evaporate. Influence she thought was secure suddenly feels conditional. The message is clear: she is being watched, and forgiveness will not come easily. Claire finally confronts Audra, no longer content with half-truths and evasions. She demands to know why Audra is risking so much for her. The question hits harder than any threat ever could. For a moment, Audra is silent, stripped of her usual armor. When she answers, it's not with a strategy, but with honesty, carefully measured, but real. She admits she saw something familiar in Claire's situation, something she once wished someone had protected her from. She doesn't ask for gratitude. She doesn't ask for loyalty. She only warns Claire that trusting anyone in Genoa City is dangerous, including her. That honesty changes everything. Claire doesn't fully trust Audra, but she stops seeing her as an enemy. It's a fragile truce built on mutual awareness rather than blind faith. For Audra, it's a relief and a risk. Letting Claire see her humanity makes her stronger in one way and more vulnerable in another. Behind the scenes, tensions continue to escalate. The secret Audra buried refuses to stay dead. Pieces of it begin to resurface, threatening to expose not only what Audra did, but why it mattered so much. If the truth comes out, it could implicate multiple power players and ignite a war that no one can control. As the pressure mounts, Audra is forced to confront a reality she's avoided for years. She can't play both sides anymore. The moment she protected Claire, she crossed an invisible line. Whether she likes it or not, she's no longer just surviving Genoa City's games, she's shaping them. Claire, watching all of this unfold, faces a defining decision of her own. She can distance herself from Audra to protect herself, or she can stand beside her and face whatever storm is coming together. Both choices carry risk. Both choices carry consequences. What started as one unexpected move has become a turning point for both women. Audra's action didn't just protect Claire, it exposed fault lines running through Genoa City's power structure. And as those cracks widen, it becomes clear that nothing will return to the way it was. Trust may still be uncertain. Motives may still be questioned. But one thing is undeniable, Audra Charles changed the game in a way no one anticipated, and the aftershocks are only beginning.